Good day, everyone. Welcome to the next module that we will be learning. It's all about English for Grade 6, Quarter 2, Module 1, Informational Texts. But before that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell of all my videos so that you can be notified for the next video that I will be uploading. So, ang ating pag-aaralan ngayon ay tungkol sa informational text. And for the information of everybody, meron po tayong answer key na nasa later part ng ating video. So, tara na! But before anything else, we would like to give credits to the development team of the module, to the writers, to the editors, to the reviewers, illustrator, template developer, technical support, and the management team, especially to the DepEd Regional Office of Region 11, Dr. Evelyn R. Fetalvero, our Regional Director. Thank you so much for coming up with this module. So for today's lesson, lesson 1.1, we will be going to define and identify informational text. So alamin po natin ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng informational text. So our lesson primarily focusing on how to distinguish various types of informational or factual text. So reading with comprehension is an important tool in achieving academic excellence. So dapat pag nakapagbasa ka ay marunong kang mag-comprehend. In the next activity, you will be reading texts and will be asked questions that require appropriate understanding. Can you grasp it? So sa susunod natin mga slide ay magbabasa tayo ng mga text at ita-try natin i-understand ano yung nasa text sa pamamagitan ng pagsagot ng mga tanong. Handa na ba ang lahat? Tara na! Now, we will be going to read a text entitled Grasshopper, and we will going to answer the questions that follow. The chirp of the grasshopper is one of the best known sounds of summer. The sound is made by male grasshoppers rubbing their legs against their wings. Grasshoppers can be found in grassy places all over the world, especially in warmer countries. There are over 9,000 species and not all of them are able to fly. So we will be going to answer now the questions. Now, these are the question. Question number 1, what is the selection all about? So, ano yung binasa natin? Tungkol saan yung binasa natin? Number 2, how many species of grasshoppers are there? So, ilang species daw ng grasshopper ang nandun sa selection? Number 3, what have you learned from the selection? Ano ba ang natutunan nyo sa binasa nating selection? Now, let's try to answer using your notebook and your ballpen. Kaya yan! Now, let us study. We have to read with enthusiasm and understand the excerpts below. So, what is informational text? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin pag sinasabi nating informational text? Well, informational text is a text with the primary purpose of expressing information about the arts, sciences, or social studies. So, pag sinabi nating informational text, ang purpose nito ay para masabi ang mga impormasyon tungkol sa arts, tungkol sa science, or other social studies. So again, its primary purpose is to express information, magbibigay ng impormasyon. This text ranges from a newspaper and magazine articles to digital information to non-fiction trade books to textbooks and reference materials. So itong mga text ay pwede nating makita sa iba't ibang platform. Example, sa newspaper, makakabasa ka ng informational text doon. Makakakita ka rin ng mga magazine articles ng informational text na nagbibigay ng mga information and so on and so forth. Pwede din sa internet. There are specifically 5 types of informational text. So para sa kaalaman ng lahat, merong 5 klase ang informational text. Yan ang ating pag-aaralan. Now, ito na yung 5 klase ng informational text. Number 1, literary nonfiction. Number 2, narrative informational text. Number 3, expository. Number 4, argument or persuasion. And the 5th one is procedural. So itong 5 ito ay ating isa-isahin ngayon. Now, let's start with number 1, literary nonfiction. It includes shorter texts such as personal essays, speeches, opinion pieces, essays about art or literature, biographies, memoirs, journalism, and so on and so forth. So, pag sinabi nating literary nonfiction, ito yung mga shorter lang na mga text. Ibig sabihin, hindi gaanong mahaba. So, yung mga nababasa natin na mga essays, how about yung mga napapakinggan natin na mga speeches ng mga tao na nag-speech sa stage, kasali yon sa tinatawag nating literary non-fiction. Autobiographies, biographies, other narrative nonfiction, informational picture books. So, merong mga books na mga picture lang ang nandoon na merong information na sinasabi. So, that is example of a literary nonfiction. And informational poetry often fit into this category. So, pag sinabing literary nonfiction, tandaan ninyo, kasali yung mga speeches, yung mga opinion pieces and essays, and whatever pa na mga shorter text lang makikita natin. Autobiographies, kung ano yung pinagmula ng taong yan, sino yan siya, that is an example of a literary nonfiction. The second one is a narrative informational text. Typically communicates accurate information and has well-defined beginning, middle, and end. So pag sinabing narrative informational text, nagko-communicate siya ng accurate information. Kung ano ang totoong informasyon, yun ang kanyang ginagawa. And meron siyang beginning, meron din siyang middle, at merong end part ang text na yan. Example, a countryman and a snake. A countryman's son stepped on a snake's tail accidentally. The tail suddenly turned and hit him, so he died. The father was very angry, so he cut off the part of the snake's tail. Then the snake, in revenge, stung several of the farmer's cattle. It caused him great loss. However, the farmer decided to stop the fight with the snake. So kung nakikita natin yung nabasa nating text, very informational, accurate yung mga information. Example, na-step ng anak ng countryman yung snake. So, siya ay na-hit ng tail nito, kaya namatay siya, nagalit ang tatay. So, yung mga steps na nakikita natin from the beginning to the middle to the end is very accurate information na nagkakatugma-tugma. That is what we call narrative informational text. The third one is what we call procedural text. Ano ba tong procedural text? Provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. So, ito yung mga example nito. Yung step-by-step. Ito yung sinabing first, second, third, ganyan-ganyan ang gagawin mo. That is what we call procedural text. So, example of this is how to make a fried rice. Yung mga menu, yung mga recipe, kung paano gawin, that is an example of procedural text. Example, ingredients, 2 cloves of garlic. Yun ang mga ingredients. So, sabihin yan, una ay isasalang mo ang ganito, pangalawa, isusunod mo siya. That is what we call procedural text in English. Ito na yung sinabi ko kanina na mga step na gagawin natin pag nandyan tayo sa procedural text. First, pound garlic. Second, merong third, fourth, fifth, and then finally. So, those are the steps. So, that is what we call procedural texts. Now, expository text. Utilize various text structures such as description. So, ito nang ninutilize is expository text. Description. Dinedescribe niya yung isang bagay. Cause and effect. Kung ano yung sanhi at bunga. Comparison and contrast. So, ano yung pagkakapareho at pagkakaiba. Problem. Tumutukoy ito sa problem. And solution. Question and answer. Tanong at sagot. And temporal sequence. So, ito yung example ng expository text. These inventions brings forth a new era that permits the user to drive in complete luxury without the need to focus on the manual control of the automobile. By implementing driverless cars, we can finally control the roadways in a safe and efficient manner. This invention will result in some of the greatest societal growth in human history. That is an example of an expository text. So, it describes. So, nagde-describe siya yung text na yan. Kaya, example siya ng expository text. So, ito na yung panglima, argument or persuasion text. Paano to ginagawa? It provide evidence with the intent of influencing the beliefs or actions of the targeted audience. So, pag sinabi nating argument or persuasion, nagpro-provide siya ng mga evidences. Example, bakit ang sinulat niya is, yung gusto niya ipabasa sa atin, bakit merong araw at gabi. So, nagpro-provide siya ng evidences na it's because ito, ang mundo natin ay constant na umiikot. So, that is what we call argument or persuasion text. These texts typically include claims. So, sinasabi talaga na totoo talaga to. Evidence, warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claim. So, writers of persuasion or arguments also make appeals. So, umaapela din sila na sana, example, itong kapela, so sana yung sinulat ko ay matututunan ninyo pagkat ito talaga ay totoo. That is what we call an appeal. Appeals to the author's credibility, to the audience's needs, or to the reason and evidence. So, yun ang 5 example ng informational text. Now, based on the examples of informational text, are the types of informational text the same? Pare-pareho ba yung type ng informational text, yung 5 na natalakay natin? How are they different from each other? Paano sila nagkakaiba-iba? Okay, ngayon, you have to read and identify the following types of informational text. So, you have to choose the correct answer inside the box and write your answer before each number. So, narrative text, procedural text, expository text, argument text, literary non-fiction text. Meron akong babasahin ng mga text at kayo na ang magsabi kung anong type of text ito. Again, pagkatapos ng sumagot ay tingnan nyo sa later part ng video na ito, meron po tayong answer key na sinali para ma-check nyo ang sarili nyo kung tama ba ang naging answer. Number 1, it utilizes questions and answer, problems and solution. Anong type of text yung merong question and answer at problems and solutions? Number 2, provides step-by-step guidelines that describe how to complete a task. Yung may mga step-by-step, ano yon? Number 3, includes biographies, memoirs, journalism and historical, scientific, technical, or economic accounts. So, ano yung type of informational text na yon? Number 4, it includes claims, evidence, and warrants to explain how the evidence is linked to the claims. And number 5, this type of text occurs in the literature and emphasizes the importance of beginning, middle, and end. Anong type of informational text yon? Again, huwag kayong matakot mag-answer because at the end of this video, meron tayong answer key na prepare sa inyo para ma-compare nyo ang sagot nyo. Now, let us practice more. Direction. In the situations below, classify the text given whether it pertains to the type of informational text. Isulat ninyo ang NT kung narrative text ang yung nabasa, PT for procedural text ang nabasa natin, ET for expository text, AT for argument text, and LT for literary non-fiction text. So, ang sagot is NT, PT, ET, AT, at saka LT. Number 1, entrepreneur at the store talks with compassion about what he sells. Number 2, the chef on the cruise uses a cookbook when he cooks. Number 3, the police officer knocks on neighbor's house, having with him a warrant of arrest. Number 4, our teacher emphasizes that we should write with coherence and our write-ups should have a beginning, middle, and end. Number 5, my mother likes to read documentaries for she sees life as a journey. So, what's the answer? Huwag kayong matakot kasi meron naman tayong answer key at the end of the video. Ngayon, may karagdagan tayong gawain. You have to cut a short selection from your old newspaper or magazine. Maghanap kayo ng mga newspaper or magazine sa inyong mga bahay. I-cut nyo yung short selection, i-paste nyo sa notebook ninyo at sabihin ninyo anong type of informational text siya. Okay, ngayon, i-assess ko kayo sa 5 informational text natin. Sabihin nyo ngayon ano yung gusto nyo sa kanya at ayaw nyo sa kanya at isulat nyo ang sagot. Number 1, narrative text. Ano ang gusto nyo sa narrative text? Ano naman ang hindi mo gusto sa narrative text? Number 2, procedural text. Ano yung gusto mo at ano ang hindi mo gusto gamit ang procedural text? Number 3, expository text. Ano yung gusto mo at ayaw ang hindi mo gusto? Number 4, argument or persuasion text. Ano yung gusto mo sa ganyan? Anong hindi mo gusto sa argument or persuasional text? And number 5, literary non-fiction text. Isulat nyo rin kung ano ang ayaw at gusto mo sa text na yan. Now, you have to connect column A and column B. You have to classify whether the type of informational text in column B signifies the example in column A. Number 1, the judge's statement at the court. Ano yung sagot? A, B, C, D, or E? Number 2, stories in the storybook. Number 3, weather forecast. Number 4, cookbook. Number 5, news report. Ano yan sila? Ito yung mga posibleng sagot. A, narrative text. B, expository text. C, fictional text. D, argument text. And E, procedural text. Again, huwag kayong mahiyang sumagot kasi sa later part ng video na ito ay meron naman tayong answer key para makompare ninyo kung tama ba ang naging sagot ninyo. Let's reflect. Reflect on your own self. In your free time, kung free kayo, gumawa kayo ng examples of different types of informative text so that soon you will be able to become efficient and effective readers and writers who can easily distinguish an informational text and its types. Kaya yan isulat. So dahan-dahan nyo lang isulat ang example ng mga informative text na yan at makukita ninyo sa sarili niyo na marunong na pala kayong magsulat. Kasi it is necessary for a reader and a writer na marunong magsulat para ma-understand mo rin yung ibang mga text na babasahin mo in the near future. So, ito na ngayon ang mga answer key na sinabi ko kanina. Sa Let Us Practice More, nandyan yung number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. And sa Let Us Try, nandyan din ang mga sagot sa number 1, 2, 3, 4, at saka 5. So, let us assess ourselves. Nandyan din yung mga sagot. Number 1, number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, let us enhance ourselves. Nandyan yung sagot from number 1, 2, 3, 4, and number 5. So, thank you so much for watching this video. Kita-kita tayo sa lesson 1.2 ng module 1 ng English for quarter 2. But don't forget to subscribe and hit like and also the notification bell. You can also share this video para mas marami pa ang mas makakaalam ng video na ito. This has been your Sir Alan Madino and I'm saying goodbye.